My name is Ilara Bennett. I'm 28 years old, and 3 weeks before my wedding, my mother told my fiancé in front of me that he could still walk away before it's too late. She said it casually, like she was offering him coffee. I remember exactly how the sunlight hit the kitchen counter when she said it. Late afternoon soft gold, the kind that makes everything look warmer than it actually is. But nothing about that moment was warm. Luke didn't answer her right away. He just looked at me. Not confused, not angry, just steady. And somehow that made it worse. Because I knew in that exact second that this wasn't new. This wasn't surprising. This was just the first time she'd said it out loud in front of him. Before I take you back to how it got to that point, if you've ever had someone smile at you while quietly tearing you apart, you'll understand this story. Drop a comment with where you're watching from and what time it is right now. I read every single one. Now let me take you back 2 years earlier, because that's where this really started. My younger sister Nora got engaged first. She's 26, blonde, effortlessly pretty, the kind of person strangers describe as light. Everything about her is easy, her laugh, her conversations, the way people gravitate toward her. My mother adored that about her, celebrated it, amplified it. When Nora got engaged to her fiancé Caleb, my mother turned it into an event. Not a moment, an event. There was a photo shoot the day of the proposal. Professional, coordinated outfits. My mother had somehow just happened to be nearby with a photographer. Then came the dress shopping. 5 times. Not 3, 5. The first was a private boutique appointment with champagne and silk robes. The second included extended family. The third was just for fun, but still documented like a magazine shoot. The fourth was when she finally said yes. And the fifth? The fifth was a celebration of the dress she'd already chosen. Every single one posted online. Every single one captioned like a love letter. My baby girl deserves the world. My heart is so full watching her step into this chapter. My perfect daughter, inside and out. I liked every post. I commented on every photo. I drove to 3 of those appointments. At the third one, I sat on a velvet couch for nearly 3 hours while my mother adjusted Nora's veil like she was sculpting something sacred. At one point I said, "That silhouette really suits you." My mother didn't even look at me. She just said, "Let's keep the focus on Nora today, Ilara." Like I had interrupted something important. Like I was background noise. I remember smiling. I always smiled. At that time, I'd been dating Luke for about 8 months. He wasn't flashy, no big gestures, no social media presence. He worked as a civil engineer and spent his weekends fixing things that weren't even broken yet. The first time he came over for dinner, my mother asked him 3 questions. What do you do? How stable is that field? Do you plan on staying here long term? She never asked how we met. She never asked if he made me happy. After dinner, she pulled me aside in the hallway. "He's fine," she said, "fine." That was her verdict. I told myself it didn't matter. I told myself she'd warm up to him. I told myself a lot of things back then. Luke proposed on a Tuesday evening. No audience, no camera, no script. We were in our tiny backyard, sitting on mismatched chairs we'd found at a thrift store. He had dirt on his hands from planting tomatoes. The ring was in his pocket. He didn't kneel right away, he just looked at me and said, "I don't want to build a life without you in it." And that was it. No speech, no performance, just truth. I said yes before he even pulled the ring out. I called my mother 10 minutes later. She answered on the second ring. "I'm engaged," I said. Silence. Then, "To him," I swallowed. "Yes." Another pause. Longer. "Well," she said finally, "I hope you know what you're doing. Not congratulations. Not I'm happy for you. Just that." I remember staring at the fence while she spoke, tracing the chipped paint with my eyes like it would keep me steady. Luke heard everything. I hadn't even realized I'd put her on speaker. When I hung up, I didn't cry. Not yet. Luke just said, "That's not how someone reacts when they love you." And I said, "She does love me." Even as I said it, something in my chest felt off. 2 weeks later, I texted her, "Would you come dress shopping with me?" 3 hours passed before she replied, "I'm busy this weekend. Nora needs help with seating charts." I tried again the following week. Same answer. Different wording. Then the third time, she didn't just decline, she explained. "Ilara, be realistic. Your wedding doesn't need to be a production. Just choose something simple, no need to overspend on something temporary." Temporary. That word stayed with me. Not dress. Not event. The marriage. Temporary. I screenshotted the message. Not to show anyone. Just to prove to myself I wasn't imagining it. I went dress shopping without her. My best friend Mila came with me. We went to a small boutique off a side street. Nothing like the places my mother had taken Nora. No champagne. No photographer. No audience. Just a quiet space and a woman named Clara who treated me like I mattered. She pulled 6 dresses. The third one was it. Soft satin. Clean lines. No drama. I stepped onto the platform, looked in the mirror, and for the first time in weeks, I felt calm. Mila whispered, "That's you." I didn't cry right away. I just stood there, breathing, like my body had finally stopped bracing for something. I bought it on the spot, paid in full. No one else's opinion, no one else's approval. Just mine. I thought that was the hardest part. I was wrong. Within a month, the narrative started shifting, subtly at first, then all at once. My aunt called me one evening. "Honey, your mom says you didn't invite her to anything." I froze. "I did," I said. 3 times. "Well, that's not what she told us." Of course it wasn't. Then another call, then another. Different relatives. Same script. "Alara is shutting me out. She doesn't want me involved. I don't know what I did to deserve this." I listened. I tried to explain. But every explanation sounded like a defense. And every defense made me look guilty. That's when I realized something. Silence doesn't keep peace. It protects the person who's rewriting the story. The turning point came when Mila forwarded me a message. My mother had told someone that Luke was financially convenient. Convenient. As if I had chosen him for stability. As if love was secondary. As if I was calculating something. I stared at that message for a long time. Then I did something I'd never done before. I didn't defend myself. I didn't explain. I just stopped. That night, Luke and I sat at the kitchen table. No dinner. Just 2 glasses of water and a conversation that changed everything. "You don't have to let this keep happening," he said. "I don't know how to stop it," I admitted. He leaned back in his chair. "You don't stop her," he said. "You protect yourself." That sounded simple. It wasn't. But it was the first time anyone had framed it that way. Not fixing her. Not convincing her. Protecting me. I called Mila that night. She answered immediately. She always does. "I need help," I said. She didn't ask with what. She just said, "Okay," I hesitated. "Am I overreacting?" She laughed softly. "You're underreacting, actually." I exhaled. "I don't want to cut her out," I said. "But I need something." "Boundaries," Mila said. The word felt foreign. Heavy. Necessary. "Give me a few weeks," she added. "Trust me." And I did. I didn't know what she was planning yet. But 3 weeks later, I would. I'm going to pause the story here for a second. If you've ever been painted as the problem just for standing up for yourself, you already know where this is going. Comment "I see it" if this feels familiar. Because what happened next? I still replay it in my head sometimes, and even now, I can't believe she went that far. 3 weeks before the wedding, everything escalated. Not slowly, not subtly, all at once. I was in my kitchen, barefoot, scrolling through my phone while waiting for the kettle to boil. And then I saw it, my mother's post. 12 photos, a boutique I didn't recognize, champagne glasses, soft lighting, and Nora, standing on a pedestal in a full-length ivory gown, not cream, not champagne. Ivory. Structured bodice, lace detailing, a train, a bridal gown. The caption read, "My girl's gonna shine brighter than anyone in that room." I didn't breathe. Not for a few seconds. Then I zoomed in. The tag was still on the sleeve. $5,800 for a dress my sister was planning to wear to my wedding. Luke walked in mid-scroll. He took one look at my face and didn't even ask. He just said, "Show me." I handed him the phone. He stared at it, then exhaled slowly. "Okay," he said. "Just that." Okay. Not shocked, not confused, just resolved. That was the moment something shifted. Not in him, in me. I called Nora that afternoon. I didn't want to, but I needed to. She answered on the 3rd ring. "Hey," she said too casually. "I saw the dress," I replied. Pause. "It's not white," she said quickly. "It's ivory. It's a wedding dress." Silence. Longer this time. "I didn't pick it," she added. "Mom did." "It has a train." "I know." I closed my eyes for a second. Then I said the only thing that mattered. "Please don't wear it to my wedding." Her breathing shifted. "She already told everyone about it. And if you wear it, you'll hurt me. That's not fair." "No," I said quietly. "It isn't." The line went quiet. I gave her time. 10 seconds, maybe 15. Then I said, I'm not asking you to choose sides, I'm asking you not to wear a bridal gown to my wedding. She didn't answer, and that was my answer. I texted Mila, she's gonna wear it. Mila replied in seconds, I know, we're ready. We met that evening at a small cafe near the venue. She walked in with a folder. Not dramatic, not theatrical, just prepared. She placed it on the table, on the front in neat handwriting. Plan A. I laughed despite everything. You made a plan? I made 3, she said calmly. She opened the folder. Inside, venue layout, timeline, contacts. You're not banning anyone, she said. You're setting rules. I leaned forward. Tell me. The venue had a dress code policy. I didn't know that. Apparently, a lot of high-end venues do. And if the couple requests enforcement, staff handles it, quietly, professionally, at the entrance. No scene, no chaos, just policy. Mila had already spoken to the coordinator, explained everything. They'd seen it before. Mothers, sisters, guests trying to outshine the bride. It wasn't new, just rare enough to be memorable. What happens if they show up in white? I asked. They get a choice, Mila said. Change or leave. And if they refuse, she closed the folder, then they leave. I sat back in my chair. Is that too much? Mila didn't hesitate. Spending thousands on a bridal gown to wear to someone else's wedding is too much. She let that sit, then added softly, You're not creating the problem. You're responding to it. 6 days before the wedding, I went to my mother's house. Unannounced. She was in the kitchen. Nora was there too. Tea, pastries, normalcy, like nothing was happening. Mom, we need to talk, I said. She didn't look up immediately. What now? I took a breath. I want you at my wedding, but I need you to support me, not compete with me. That got her attention. Compete, she repeated. Yes. She turned to Nora. Do you hear this? Nora stared at the table, said nothing. I pressed on. Why did you tell everyone I didn't invite you dress shopping? My mother's eyes filled instantly. The shift was immediate, emotional, calculated. I can't believe you're doing this, she whispered. After everything I've done for you. There it was, the pivot, the guilt. You're turning people against me. I stood there waiting, hoping, just once, she'd say something real, something honest. She didn't. So I nodded. Okay, I said quietly, and I left. The rehearsal dinner was the night before the wedding, small restaurant, close friends, family. My mother arrived late, wearing white, of course. Not the gown, not yet, but white, tailored, elegant, intentional. A preview, a warning. During her toast, she smiled at the room and said, I just hope this works out for Alara. Hope. Not belief. Hope like my marriage was a risk, a gamble, something fragile. Luke's hand found mine under the table. He squeezed once. I didn't react, not outwardly, but inside, something locked into place. Later that night in the parking lot, she found me. I know you told Nora not to wear the dress, she said. I asked her, I replied. She stepped closer. If you embarrass me tomorrow, I will make sure everyone knows exactly who you are. I held her gaze. And who is that? She smiled slightly. Ungrateful. That word again. Always that word. I nodded once, then said, Then I guess tomorrow will be very clear. And I walked away. Wedding day, 4 p.m. The air was warm. The light was perfect. Everything was ready. I was in the bridal suite when Mila walked in. They're here? She said. My heart didn't race. It didn't drop. It just steadied. Okay, I said. 3:48 p.m. my mother arrived. Right on time, in the gown. Full ivory, train, details catching the light exactly as she'd planned. Nora was beside her, also in ivory. Simpler, but unmistakable. Guests turned. Whispers started. This was her moment, her entrance, her stage. She made it 10 steps past the gate, then staff stepped forward, calm, professional. Good afternoon. There's a dress code in effect for today's event. Her smile froze. I'm the mother of the bride, she said. Yes, ma'am. And the dress code applies to all guests. Silence. Then, this is ridiculous. You're welcome to change, the coordinator said gently, or we can escort you out. People were watching now, not interfering, just witnessing. That's what changed everything. Not the rule, not the dress, the witnesses. My mother looked around, waiting for someone to step in. To defend her, to fix it. No one did. She turned and walked back to the parking lot, ivory trailing behind her exactly as everyone saw. Nora stayed, frozen. The staff held out a garment bag, navy, her size, prepared. She hesitated, then she took it. Mila came into the suite. It's handled, she said. I closed my eyes for a second, then opened them. And for the first time in months, I felt light. The ceremony started. I walked down the aisle alone, not given away, not handed off, just walking. Luke was waiting, tie slightly crooked, hands steady, eyes locked on mine. That's all I needed. The chair where my mother should have been was empty. I didn't look at it, not once. The ceremony was simple, real, ours. Luke's vows ended with, I choose you, every version of you. Mine ended with, I'm done waiting to be chosen. I choose myself, and I choose you. The reception was perfect, not flawless, perfect because it was ours. No tension, no performance, just people who were actually there for us. My mother called people the next day. Of course she did, told her version. But this time, it didn't work. Too many people had seen the truth, not heard it, seen it, and that made all the difference. 2 weeks later, Nora texted me. Can we talk? We met for coffee. She looked tired, different. I should have said no, she said. Yes, I replied. I didn't know how. I know. She looked down, then said quietly, I'm learning. I nodded. That matters. 3 months later, my mother sent a message. Long, emotional, full of but. No real accountability. I didn't reply. I wrote a letter instead. Took me 4 drafts. The final version was simple. I love you, but I won't let you hurt me anymore. If you want a relationship, it starts with honesty. I sent it. Then I waited, not chasing, not explaining, just waiting. She called 2 weeks later. Can we talk? This time I said yes, but on my terms. That's where we are now. Not perfect, not fixed, but different, because I'm different. Here's what I learned. Boundaries don't destroy relationships. They reveal them. They show you who's willing to meet you halfway and who only knows how to take. The dress? Still in her closet, unworn, unreturned, a reminder, not of what she tried to do, but of what didn't work. If you've ever had to choose between keeping the peace and keeping yourself, I hope you choose yourself. Even once. That's enough to change everything.